Hello people, Greg the Wild Hippie back once again. Just had a request off of Commander Wolfman Barry. He wants to see my my collection of model aircraft that I've built and do a bit of a review on some of them. So we'll start over here with this one. This one I built fairly recently. I overdid the weathering a little bit on it. It's Dornier DO17. Yeah, from Airfix. It was a good little kit. Some fit issues on the interior. But yeah, that was good fun. I said experimented with some weathering, and yeah, obviously well overdid it. Yeah, I have issues with the weathering sometimes because I don't know what I do wrong. But when I'm trying to take the excess off, quite often it leaves the layer of varnish and start dissolving the paint underneath, which is really frustrating. So yeah, next one is this Spitfire. One of my favourites. This one was a cheap kit. It was a Revell. It's meant to be a Mark V, I think. It doesn't really, it was a special offer from, I think it was the Guardian newspaper. Found it on eBay for about £3. It was more flash than kit. Spent the first 2 days working on it. I think there's actually a video of it on my channel. Spent like a day at least, if not two, cleaning it up. Mark 1 Spitfire, Airfix. This was the first one I built when I got back into the hobby. I found this one on a car boot a few years back for like £3 or £4. Starter set, all the paints and paintbrush and everything. Another Mark V Spitfire. This is probably my best work, this one. Everything came up perfectly. Yeah, the aerial's a little bit battered from moving, but yeah, everything came out absolutely beautiful on this kit. So yeah, there's that one. This is Heinkel 111, again Airfix in Africa core colours. Yeah, first time I ever attempted doing weathering and panel lines. By a miracle, it came out. Everyone after that seemed to go a bit wrong. But yeah, lovely kit. Really enjoyed that. Hurricane Mark II with the cannons. Yeah, really good kit. I think, yeah, this one, something went, I can't remember exactly, but something went horribly wrong with the decals. So I ended up buying a second one, which is over here. So I had a set of decals, and obviously had the Indian Air Force ones left over, and did the tropical air intake on the bottom. There's another one I had a nightmare with the paint peeling off the bottom, with the I'm trying to do the weathering. Again, there's a video of this one on somewhere on my channel. And then we'll go over to the shelf. Golden Hind in 1/72 scale from Airfix. Built this a couple of years back. Yeah, not happy with how the rat lines and the rigging came out. I could not get that machine to work properly. One day I'll get around to stripping all the rigging off and redoing it. Behind it is Corsair class HMCS Snowberry. I didn't build this one. I got given this as a radio controlled model by a friend, and yeah, it got badly damaged. It was badly damaged when I got it. Lots of bits missing, and I gave up. I decommissioned it as a radio controlled boat because every time I took it out, you know, I had to look at it funny and something would break off it. That's sitting up there. One day I'll get around to trying to find the missing parts, and I'll restore it, and I'll do some nice weathering on all these lines and that here, some rust and everything. Some more of my early ones. So I think all of these are Airfix. Typhoon, Hurricane, Defiant. The bottom pull Defiant is my favourite fighter of all time. You've got the Germans. Messerschmitt, Focke-Wulf, and Stuka. Airfix kits. These were starter kits that came from Lidl's. They were horrible little kits. They didn't want to go together properly, and real lack of details. But you know, it's part of the learning curve. Down here you got Halifax Bomber, which I did recently. Got Vampire, old Frog kit. Canberra, old Airfix. The Halifax was Revel, I think. And you got an old Airfix Porcupine, Short Sunderland. Great old kit. That really enjoyed that. It's quite one of my more recent ones. A lot of you would have seen the video on that. Here's one I finished last week. The Flying Models Whitley Bomber. Horrible kit. Was a fight from start to finish, but in the end it came out reasonably well. And then going back up to the ceiling, this was a really cheap one. This was can't remember the name of the model, but you know, it was like the kit was like £3 something. Loads of decal options. Obviously it's Messerschmitt 109. That was really good. Airfix Kitty Hawk. Again, lovely little kit. Had some issues with the weathering on this one on the top somewhere, which I've patched up. But yeah, that was a fun little kit. Over this way, got same make as the Messerschmitt. Got Wolf 190. Again, great little kit considering, you know, they were like less than the cost of a pint of beer. They were really good. We'll try and get some more of them if I see them. I can't remember what make they were, but they're really good little kits. Airfix Mark IV Blenheim, lovely kit. Literally fell together, this one. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. And then an old Frog Mark I Blenheim kit. Again, lovely little kit. Lack of detail. This one is sort of probably a fictional aircraft. Well, it is a fictional aircraft. My grandfather had, when he was 5 years old, his uncle made him a wooden model Blenheim with his initials on it. Yeah. And it's currently sitting in my mother's loft, trying to work out what I'm going to do with it. I mean, if I could get it back up here, I'd like it in my collection, but well, we'll see. But yeah, it's got my grandfather's initials on the side of it, which is pretty cool. And then we got a Mustang. This was supposed to be I can't remember. It was advertised on eBay, dirt cheap. Missing instructions, and yeah, it's advertised as a P51D Mustang. As you can see, the cockpit's totally wrong for that. The decals that come with it fell apart, and so I painted it up as this one and got the decals online. Yeah, I don't even know what make it was. Here is Airfix's what's this, Flying Suitcase Tadpole Hamden Bomber. Really good little kit. I was disappointed. This was another one of those ones from Airfix who are culprits for it, which is a reboxing of an old kit. So I saw this one. I love this aeroplane, and I saw it. This nice flash box, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a lovely kit. It's going to be all new tooling and all the rest of it. I opened it, and it was, I could tell straight away. It was the old sprues and all the raised panel lines and stuff. But yeah, it came out as a really lovely model. This one, yeah, Sea King helicopter in the rescue colours, gift off a friend of mine. Airfix. It was a starter kit, and the paint was rubbish. The yellow paint, I lost all the panel lines and everything. I mean, it nearly went in the bin. But yeah, it didn't have any crew, so I went through my spares box and found the pilots. There's a chap right inside at the little navigator station. Obviously, this guy right here was a normal pilot, so I butchered his legs and made him kneeling on one knee. And then at the end of the line is the guy being rescued on the stretcher. with the winchman being pulled back up. Thought that was good fun. Good fun to do. Coming down onto the shelf, got Panzer. I think it's Panzer II. Yeah, that was a fun little kit. And then we got Tiger 1 from Revell. Not Revell, sorry, Tamiya. These are all Tamiya tanks. With that came out a couple of years back. John Moore built one with the full crew. That was really enjoyable. First time I've attempted figures since I was at school, and I'm really happy with how these chaps came out. And there's Stug, whatever it was called, I can't remember now. That was my first tank since getting back into the hobby, which is really cool. And there's 4 soldier chappies that came with the Panzer. Again, really happy with how these guys came out. I mean, I'm not an expert at this, but I do all right, I think. Airfix HMS Belfast. The vintage classics, whatever it's called. Horrible kit. Actually, one of my old local model shop when I was living up in Morpeth gave me this as a gift, because I'd bought the hood, which is behind. And yeah, both of these kits were more flash than anything else. So yeah, this one got sacked twice, went back in its box and got left because I was about to smash it. But I came back to it a 3rd time, persevered, and yeah, it's not amazing. I've done better, but it's all right. Behind is HMS Hood, pre 1941. With the side armament and everything. The reason why there's crud all over the side was this was on a base. I made a seascape using Play-Doh. I think there's a video on it. Yeah, I was using Play-Doh to make a seascape, but unfortunately, being Play-Doh and not plasticine, it dried out and cracked really badly. So when I moved house, I destroyed the base and pulled it off, and unfortunately there's a residue on the side. And there's at the back the USS Missouri, old I think it was old Tamiya kit. I got it on the Isle of Wight for like £5 in a second-hand shop, which is nice. Yeah, sorry about the shadows. The light's terrible, as always. But yeah, that was a fun little kit. And then coming back up there, you got Revell Hawker Hunter, which was my grandfather's favourite aeroplane. He cut his teeth as an aircraft engineer building these at Hawkers, which is really cool. Bristol Beaufighter, one I completed recently. Yeah, there's a build video of this on there. Again, think it was Airfix. Great little kit again. And then coming up to my Fokker DR1 with World War I pilot figure in there from Hannants. Well, you can see him. But yeah, it's a Revell, same one you've just built, Baz. Commander Wolfman. Yeah, I didn't do as much with it as I could have. I look at it now and go, I really could have done more with that, but never mind. Airfix Eindecker. Yeah, great little kit, really good. Did the rigging with stretch sprue, so that came out really nicely. Sopwith Camel, again Revell. Yeah. First ever attempt at rigging using cotton, and I wasn't very happy with it, but yeah, it came out well in the end. RE8, again recent build video on my wall, trying to get an angle where it's not lost in anything else. But yeah, that was a fun little build. Revell's Mark III Lancaster. One of my early builds, really lovely kit. Thoroughly enjoyed that one. you can see, before I started using varnishes and stuff, you can see the decals are all silvered on it. Never mind. Next down is the old Tooling Airfix Standbuster, S for sugar, with the false nose art on it, but I decided to go with it because I really liked it. Yeah, great little kit for its age. And then coming over to here, we've got the new Tooling Airfix Buccaneer. Really enjoyed that one. I cocked up the canopy, it's got a big split in it, and yeah, because it didn't want to fit properly, and I tried cutting it down and it split. Never mind. And there's another one of my first ones that I did when I got back into the hobby. Yeah, Dakota in Indian colours. It came with the free extra Willys Jeep underneath. B17E. What was the name? No, I can't even read that now. But yeah, B17E Pacific Theatre. Really, that was a terrible kit, but there's no interior detail whatsoever on it. Again, an old, I think it's Revell B17F. Again, this one had some interior detail on it, but you can't really see anything. And then Revell's G, Little Miss Mischief. Really enjoyed it. This one earned me Model Maker of the Week on JSM Scale Models on Facebook, which was the first time I got that, which I was so impressed with, because all I can see is the mistakes. But yeah, really, I'm actually really happy with how that one turned out. And then that's all the ones in here. Let's say my little toy out there, my 97 Honda CB500. Love that bike. One day I'll attach my camera to it and take you out for a ride. Yeah, Seahawk. I think it's an old frog kit. Yeah, fun little build. Sea Venom. Again, an old frog kit. It's the first one I built when I moved in here. There's my Comanche. Again, recent build. You've seen that one. And then lastly, it's not a Harrier. Let me put the light on. It's not a Harrier. It's the P1127 prototype Harrier. My grandfather worked on these during his time at Hawkers Aviation. He helped to design the air intakes. So yeah, it was a horrible kit. It's an old Airfix one. I had to scratch build bits for the inside of the air intakes and stuff. But yeah, I'm glad I've got one in my collection, because I'm very proud of my family history. So yeah, that was it. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, please check out my Patreon. And yeah, I will see you on the next one very soon. Take it easy, guys. Ta-da.